Anti-Semitism or Anti-Idumeanism. Written by Christopher Turner, founder and editor-in-chief of Heritage Weekly. All praises to the Most High. First, a word from our sponsors. Explore Christopher Turner's books on Kindle for in-depth studies on Israelite heritage and scriptural truths. Like and support to help continue spreading valuable content. Back to your content. Anti-Semitism or Anti-Idumeanism? The term Semitic originates from Shem, one of Noah's 3 sons as described in Genesis. The descendants of Shem include a wide array of peoples who speak Semitic languages or trace their lineage back to Shem. These include Hebrews, descendants of Eber including the true Israelites, Arabs, descendants of Ishmael, the son of Abraham and Hagar, Edomites, Idumeans, descendants of Esau, Jacob's twin brother, Assyrians, Babylonians, and Arameans, other smaller ethnic groups in the ancient Near East. Thus, Semitic people are not limited to those identifying as Jews today, but also include Israelites, Arabs, and others who descend from Shem. The misuse of anti-Semitism. Modern usage of anti-Semitism primarily refers to hostility or prejudice against Jews. This definition, however, is incomplete and problematic for several reasons. 1. It excludes non-Jewish Semites. Arabs, Ethiopians, and other Semitic peoples are not typically included under the protection of the term anti-Semitism, even though they are also Semitic. 2. It protects Revelation 2:9 people. Much of the modern anti-Semitism narrative is used to shield those identified in Revelation 2:9 as impostors claiming to be Jews. These are groups descended from Edom and Khazariah, not the true Israelites. 3. Esau's weaponization of the term. Esau, the Edomites who later became Idumeans and are connected to modern Rabbinic Judaism, has strategically used the term anti-Semitism to protect his own interests while marginalizing true Semitic peoples, especially the scattered descendants of Jacob. In this way, hostility toward Edom is falsely framed as hostility toward all Semitic peoples. 4. It silences truth. The term has been weaponized to suppress legitimate criticism of groups and individuals who misrepresent their identity or history. For example, speaking out against Zionism, Talmudic teachings, or modern claims to Israelite identity is often labeled anti-Semitic, even when it's rooted in historical and scriptural truth. What is real anti-Semitism? Real anti-Semitism is hostility or prejudice toward any Semitic people, not just those identifying as Jewish. Here's how it can manifest. 1. Against true Israelites, Jacob. The greatest form of anti-Semitism has been directed at the true descendants of Jacob, the ethnic Israelites scattered across the globe. This includes the transatlantic slave trade, where the descendants of Jacob were enslaved and scattered as part of the curses in Deuteronomy 28:68. The systemic erasure of Israelite identity, including the paper genocide that replaced them with impostors. This is prophesied in Psalm 83:4. They have said, "Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be remembered no more." Against Ishmaelites, Arabs also Semitic have faced hostility and displacement, particularly in the context of modern conflicts with the Zionist state. This is a direct consequence of Esau's use of the land of Israel as a political and religious tool. 3. Among Semitic peoples, true anti-Semitism also exists within the Semitic family. For example, Esau's perpetual hatred of Jacob, as foretold in Ezekiel 35:5. Because you have had an ancient hatred, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the power of the sword at the time of their calamity. The historical conflicts between Ishmael and Isaac, Edom and Jacob, and even modern-day disputes among Semitic groups. 4. Global systems against Semites. Many global systems of oppression, including colonialism, slavery, and economic disenfranchisement, have targeted Semitic peoples, especially Israelites. These systems are often masked by narratives that obscure the true identity of the oppressed. Esau's role in the anti-Semitism narrative. Esau's descendants have strategically weaponized anti-Semitism to protect their own power and influence. By claiming to be the sole representatives of Semitic identity, Esau deflects criticism and suppresses historical truth. By conflating hostility toward their political and religious systems, e.g. Zionism and Talmudism, with racial or ethnic hatred, Esau manipulates public discourse to maintain control. By erasing the true Israelites from history, Esau ensures that the term anti-Semitism is never used to protect Jacob, only to shield his own false claims. This manipulation fulfills the prophecy of Obadiah 1:10. For violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. The true anti-Semitic struggle. Real anti-Semitism is not about criticizing Edom or exposing false claims to Israelite identity. Instead, it is about the systemic oppression of Semitic peoples, especially the true descendants of Jacob. This includes the historical enslavement, colonization, and scattering of Israelites, the displacement and erasure of other Semitic peoples, including Arabs and Ethiopians, the ongoing spiritual and cultural deception that obscures the truth of Yahweh's covenant with Jacob, as Revelation 3:9 warns. Indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and are not but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. This scripture reminds us that true Israel will be restored, and the impostors who have falsely claimed their identity will face judgment. Conclusion. The modern narrative of anti-Semitism has been twisted to serve the interests of Esau and the impostors identified in Revelation 2:9. While true anti-Semitism affects all Semitic peoples, it is the descendants of Jacob who have suffered the most, enduring centuries of erasure, slavery, and systemic oppression. By exposing the truth of history and prophecy, we can reclaim the narrative and remind the world that Yahweh's covenant remains with Jacob. Judgment will come for those who have perpetuated lies and used false claims of anti-Semitism to suppress the truth. All praises to the Most High. Written by Christopher Turner, founder and editor-in-chief of Heritage Weekly, pioneering covenant theology researcher and principal contributor to Rediscovering Israel, focusing on Israelite heritage, covenant theology, and ancient scriptures. Creator of the AIP after Yahawashi's Passover calendar system, a unique biblical timekeeping method based on Yahawashi's death and Passover, aligning with lunar cycles and prophecy, particularly Daniel. Author of Jacob's Trouble, The Birth of a King, The Freedom Articles, Prophecy over DNA. Photo by Pavel Cherwinski on Unsplash.